Hey guys, Joey here. Just wanted to do a video. I watched Josh's sermon on calling and wanted to share a little bit about my story and some of the things I've learned over the years. If you haven't seen it, by the way, you should check it out. If you go to the link in the bio of Compres Youth Instagram page, it's there. Takes you to the Compres YouTube page. Just good stuff there. But I want to share a little bit about my story. Now, first, before we get started, I just want to say I understand that I look homeless, okay? We have been under quarantine for a month. I have not touched a razor. I want to give my barber some business when this is over, okay? So cut me some slack, please. All right, other than that, I'll get back into it. When I was in high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. I had no idea what I was good at. I just was really clueless. I thought for a while maybe I'll be a big and tall, a men's big and tall fashion model. Turns out you have to actually be attractive to do that, and so that was out of the question. Then I thought, well, maybe I'll just be a professional athlete. That sounds like fun. They make a lot of money. Turns out you have to be an elite athlete to make it to the professional level. So that wasn't in the cards for me either. So I ended up still not really knowing. I went off to college. I went to a private Christian school where some of my friends went, started taking some classes, and I felt this nudge in me where I felt like God was saying, "Hey, listen, when you were a junior in high school, somebody came into your life, impacted your life, and allowed me to come in and change your life, and I want you to do that for other people." And so I I felt a calling to youth ministry. I graduated. I started working at church. I got a full time job. I worked at a couple different churches. Moved here to Orlando. Was working at a church here. I got a job at Disney on the side just to make a little extra money. And so what happened was I got a promotion at Disney, and then my church came to me. It was actually when the financial times were really bad in 2008. They said, "Hey, we can't pay you anymore. We can't afford to pay you." And so I was really confused because I said, God, I thought that you were calling me to youth ministry. And God said, and God said, I didn't hear God's voice. I just felt like God was saying to me, "Hey, you know what? Who said I'm not calling you to youth ministry? You don't have to get a paycheck from a church and be a full time youth pastor to be involved in youth ministry. You can still impact people's lives, right? You can get your paycheck here and be involved in ministry here." And I actually stayed on and led the group as a volunteer. You see, at that time in my mind, what I did for a living, where my paycheck came from, and my calling were one and the same. And that is the case for some people. Some people are called to be youth pastors. Some people are called to be pastors and missionaries. Even some people are called to be doctors, right? Where they're called to heal people and care for people and nurses. There are people that your calling and your paycheck are the same thing, right? But it's not like that for everybody. You can still be called to something and be involved in something and be serving the Lord in other ways, even if you're not getting a paycheck from it, right? And so as my career's progressed, I've done a lot of different things. I've always been involved in some way, shape, or form with youth ministry and volunteering in youth ministry, even to this day. Now, along the way, I had a lot of questions. It was really difficult, right? And so, I needed people in my life to help me understand, what was happening, what God might be doing in my life, what doors might be opening and closing, and where, I can best be used. And so, really, I want to share three things with you. Maybe four. I don't know. I'm just gonna say them. If it's four, maybe three. It might be five. I don't know. All right. So the first thing is, if you don't have any idea what you want to do in life or what your calling is, that is okay. All right. When I was 18 years old, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Number two, even if you think you know what that calling is, it may change, or what you thought you were called to may not be what you're called to, and that's okay too, right? Number three is your calling doesn't have to be tied to your job, right? You can have a job and make money and then still be involved in a calling, a specific calling or a special calling. It doesn't have to be your job. And number 4, is that number 4? Probably. I don't know. Number 4 is surround yourself with people along the way that love you and care about you and will mentor you and help you figure out what your calling is, what your purpose is, what you're good at, where you're skilled, and will also help you when you don't understand kind of what God's doing in your life. So that's what I have to say. I miss all you guys. I hope that we can be together soon at youth group. Take care. Love you. Bye.